Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 102. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year in a non-leap year, this is for April 12th, or in a leap year for April 11th. The Old Testament reading is beginning at Deuteronomy 16, verse 21, and continuing through Deuteronomy 18. Deuteronomy 16:21. You shall not plant for yourselves an Asherah pole beside the altar of Yahweh your God that you make for yourselves. And you shall not set up for yourselves a stone pillar, a thing that Yahweh your God hates. Deuteronomy 17. You shall not sacrifice to Yahweh your God an ox or sheep that has a physical defect of anything seriously wrong, for that is a detestable thing to Yahweh your God. If there is found in one of your towns that Yahweh your God is giving to you a man or a woman that does evil in the eyes of Yahweh your God to transgress his covenant, and by going and serving other gods, and so he bows to them, and to the sun, or to the moon, or to any of the host of heaven which I have forbidden, and it is reported to you, or you hear about it, or you inquire about it thoroughly, and indeed the trustworthiness of the deed has been established, it has occurred, this detestable thing in Israel, then you shall bring out that man or that woman who has done this evil thing to your gates, that is, the man or the woman, and you shall stone them with stones to death. On the evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses the person shall be put to death. The person shall not be put to death by the mouth of one witness. The hand of the witnesses shall be first against the person to kill the person, and afterward the hands of all the people, and so you shall purge the evil from your midst. If a matter is too difficult for you, for example, disputes between blood and blood, between legal claim and legal claim, and between assault, and between matters of discernment in your towns, then you shall get up and you shall go to the place that Yahweh your God will choose. Then you shall go to the priests and the Levites and to the judge who will be in office in those days, and you shall inquire, and they shall announce to you the verdict. And you shall carry out exactly the decision that they announce to you from that place that Yahweh will choose, and you shall diligently observe according to all that they instruct you. And so, according to the instruction of the law that they teach you, and according to the decisions that they say to you, you shall do. You shall not turn from the word that they tell you to the right or to the left. And the man who treats with contempt so as not to listen to the priest who is standing to minister on behalf of Yahweh your God, or to the judge, that man shall die, so that you shall purge the evil from Israel. And all the people will hear and will be afraid, and they will not behave presumptuously again. When you have come to that land that Yahweh your God is giving to you, and you have taken possession of it, and you have settled in it, and you say, I will set over me a king like all the nations that are around me. Indeed, you may set a king over you whom Yahweh your God will choose. From the midst of your countrymen you must set a king over you. You are not allowed to appoint over you a man, a foreigner, who is not your countryman, except he may not make numerous for himself horses, and he may not allow the people to go to Egypt in order to increase horses, for Yahweh has said to you that you may never return. And he must not acquire many wives for himself, so that his heart would turn aside. And he must not accumulate silver and gold for himself excessively. And then, when he is sitting on the throne of his kingdom, then he shall write for himself a copy of this law on a scroll before the Levitical priests. And it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the days of his life, so that he may learn to revere Yahweh your God by diligently observing all the word of this law and these rules, so as not to exalt his heart above his countrymen, and not to turn aside from the commandment to the right or to the left, so that he may reign long over his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. Deuteronomy 18. And there shall not be for the Levitical priests, the whole tribe of Levi, a plot of ground and an inheritance with Israel. Rather, they may eat an offering made by fire as their inheritance for Yahweh. And there shall not be for them an inheritance of land in the midst of his brothers. Rather, Yahweh is his inheritance, just as he promised to them. Now this shall be the share of the priest from the people, from those who sacrifice the sacrifice, whether it is an ox, sheep, or goat, and they shall give the priest the shoulder and the jawbones and the stomach. The firstfruits of your grain, your wine, and your olive oil, and the firstfruits of the fleece of your sheep you shall give to him. For Yahweh your God has chosen him from among all your tribes to stand to minister in the name of Yahweh, he and his sons forever. And if a Levite comes from one of your towns from anywhere in Israel where he is residing, he may come whenever he desires to the place that Yahweh will choose. And he may minister in the name of Yahweh his God, just like all his brothers, the Levites who stand there before Yahweh. They shall eat equal portions, apart from what he may receive from the sale of his patrimony. When you come to the land that Yahweh your God is giving to you, you must not learn to do like the detestable practices of those nations. There shall not be found among you one who makes his son or his daughter go through the fire, or one who practices divination, or an interpreter of signs, or an augur, or a sorcerer, or one who casts magic spells, or one who consults a spirit of the dead, or spiritist, or one who inquires of the dead. For everyone doing these things is detestable to Yahweh. And because of these detestable things, Yahweh your God is driving them out from before you. You must be blameless before Yahweh your God. For these nations that you are about to dispossess listen to interpreters of signs and to diviners, but Yahweh your God has not allowed you to do the same. Yahweh your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from your midst, from your countrymen, and to him you shall listen. This is according to all that you ask from Yahweh your God at Horeb, on the day of the assembly, saying, I do not want again to hear the voice of Yahweh my God, and I do not want to see again this great fire so that I may not die. And Yahweh said to me, They are right in what they have said. I will raise up a prophet for them from among their countrymen like you, and I will place my words into his mouth, and he shall speak to them everything that I command him. And then the man that will not listen to my words that he shall speak in my name, I will hold accountable. However, the prophet that behaves presumptuously by speaking a word in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, and who speaks in the name of other gods, then that prophet shall die. And if you say to yourself, How can we know the word that Yahweh has not spoken it? Whenever what the prophet spoke in the name of Yahweh, the thing does not take place and does not come about, that is the thing that Yahweh has not spoken it. Presumptuously the prophet spoke it. You shall not fear him. The New Testament reading is from Luke chapter 14, from verse 15 through 35. Luke 14, verse 15. Now, when one of those reclining at the table with him heard these things, he said to him, Blessed is everyone who will eat bread in the kingdom of God." But he said to him, "A certain man was giving a large banquet, and invited many. And he sent his slave at the hour of the banquet to say to those who have been invited, 'Come, because now it is ready.' And they all alike began to excuse themselves. The first said to him, 'I have purchased a field, and I must go out to look at it. I ask you, consider me excused.' And another said, 'I have purchased 5 yoke of oxen, and I am going to examine them. I ask you, consider me excused.' And another said, 'I have married a wife, and for this reason I am not able to come.' And the slave came and reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house became angry, and said to his slave, 'Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the city, and bring in here the poor, and crippled, and blind, and lame.' And the slave said, 'Sir, what you ordered has been done, and there is still room.' And the master said to the slave, 'Go out into the highways and hedges, and press them to come in, so that my house will be filled. For I say to you that none of those persons who were invited will taste my banquet.' Now large crowds were going along with him, and he turned around and said to them, 'If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, and furthermore even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry his own cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, wanting to build a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all who see it will begin to ridicule him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.' Or what king, going out to engage another king in battle, does not sit down first and deliberate whether he is able with 10,000 to oppose the one coming against him with 20,000? But if not, while the other is still far away, he sends an ambassador and asks for terms of peace. In the same way, therefore, every one of you who does not renounce all his own possessions cannot be my disciple. Now, salt is good, but if salt becomes tasteless, with what will it be made salty? It is usable neither for the soil nor for the manure pile. They throw it out. The one who has ears to hear, let him hear." The wisdom literature reading is from Psalm 44, beginning with verse 13 through verse 26. Psalm 44:13. "You have made us a taunt to our neighbors, a derision and a scorn to those around us. You have made us a byword among the nations, a shaking of the head among the peoples. All day long my disgrace is before me, and the shame of my face covers me. Because of the voice of the taunter and the reviler, because of the enemy and the avenger. All this has befallen us, though we have not forgotten you, and we have not been false to your covenant. Our heart has not turned back, and our steps have not turned aside from your way. But you have crushed us in a place of jackals, and have covered us with deep shadow. If we had forgotten the name of our God, or had spread out our hands in prayer to a foreign god, would not God discover this? For he knows the secrets of the heart. Rather, on account of you, we are killed all day long. We are accounted as sheep for slaughter. Wake up! Why do you sleep, O Lord? Awake! Do not reject forever. Why do you hide your face? Have you forgotten our misery and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust. Our body clings to the ground. Rise up, be a help for us, and redeem us for the sake of your loyal love. This concludes the reading for day 102. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.